Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Now, I'm going to start by saying I feel like I've got a right cold this morning. Well, today. Bit of a head cold, I suppose you could call it. I blame on the fact of just terrible sleep for the past few days. But I'll be fine. I'm a big boy. We'll be okay. We'll go ahead and we'll get into the new save then, into the new turn. I'm going to have to just quickly check which turn it is. Which save it is, I should say. Right, 15, there we go, excellent. Okay, we'll start things up then. And there wasn't overly much to report on from last turn. Mostly moving around. Logistics, mostly just moving assets, really. I do have about 100 or so key 43s I'm going to have shifted out. I decided to give them another day's rest, really, just to try and get their fatigue down as much as possible. The reason being, we are going to be transferring them quite often until they get to their final destination, so I thought it would be worthwhile. Yeah, lots of bad eye. We did take all the islands last turn, didn't we? There are more to be taken. How you doing there, Rochi? Good to have you, my man. It's good to have you there, Cora, and Just East. Though it does make me tempted to say, just eat. Some effective branding there. Okay. We did have a number of forces moving into Benjamason this turn. They were around about a day out, and they might be just outside. It's hard to say. I think they will make it into port today. It will be interesting to see the condition of our forces at Singapore. We will be attacking there shortly, perhaps today, perhaps tomorrow. Soon either way. Interestingly enough, I do see him withdrawing forces north of Mulmien, back across the river it seems towards Bigu, which is an interesting one. I imagine he has a decent amount of force there. Dutch sub, it seems we are in shallow waters here, so ideally penetration would be nice. Damage either way. Hey, didn't I, Gary? Codename Deliverance. Oh man, I should really just put the actual name into Google and just have it tell me what it is. Okay. As far as it goes for Singapore, we'll see, as I said there earlier, what the condition of the forces are there. I do think after the fall of Singapore, I may take a division or potentially two divisions from Singapore, potentially to quickly take Java. I don't think I'd have them use the entire conquest of Java, but I think potentially, well, we know that he's concentrated his men in Batavia. Possibly sometime there in that area would be useful. We are quite far behind, especially when it does come to Burma, so I would like to actually have them sent out that way. But I don't want to get stuck in a campaign in Java by having inadequate amounts of forces. So I think it might be potentially worth that short trip from Singapore to Java. Though arguably, does it come after Rangoon? But I think Rangoon's significantly more vulnerable than he did imagine, I suppose. The reason for that is the fact that it is close by to us relatively. It's a little bit awkward to get there, but we can mass forces there, and you can't stop that. As we are seeing a number of reports there, okay. Allied ships near Rangoon. We will be targeting them soon enough. We do have a 2-0 squadrons there. I'm looking forward to reducing his power in that area. Okay. So a number of missions cancelled due to weather. Yeah, I could land at Semarang, and it's interesting actually, I could potentially land to the south there. Haha, thank you there, Lexi. No, it's just, I don't know what it is, it's like a little bit of a head cold. It's weird because I haven't really been out that much. It's nothing serious. That's interesting to see ships right next to Baker. Okay, so he's bombing us over here. He's actually pulling back, which is intriguing. If he's actually seeding the ×3, then happy days. That is an interesting little development there. More SP3s, okay. A couple casualties, nothing. And he's bombing at 10,000 feet, which is intriguing. Yeah, we are seeing those forces out by Baker, which is an interesting little thing there. Right, moving into the air phase PM. Seeing ships out there. He has quite a large amount of ships actually in Rangoon, and I can't wait until we can get torpedoes in them. He does have a good amount of aircraft. Oh, is he actually landed at Baker? If he's landed at Baker, then so be it. It's an interesting little move there by him, but it's not one that we can't respond to if we even wish to respond to it. We'll see. I can't recall what the actual force is on Baker. I know he hasn't landed on Baker. Looked as though he had with his ships there for a second. We'll see. Short PM phase though, moving into land combat in a second. Right, we continue to bombard over here at Singapore. I feel the bombardment has been fairly useful. It is producing some decent results over time actually, and ideally if it can keep the forces somewhat subdued. But it doesn't because obviously Singapore's a large base, so they do recover very quickly. But if I can actually cause him damage without receiving damage, then that's so good. What I will be doing though is actually going ahead and checking the artillery units and making sure we are using artillery with sufficient range to avoid losing guns. So we have one vehicle destroyed here, 3 disabled non-combatants, so not bad. So we're at 2403, he's at 580. We have 122 casualties here. You can see the bombardment actually is proven fairly nice actually. It's not doing a tremendous amount of damage, but it is causing damage in the days where we are resting. So we see 9 squad disabled, 3 non-combatants disabled, and 2 engineers destroyed, which is nice. 2 engineers disabled, yes. 2 guns destroyed, 5 disabled, and a vehicle destroyed there. Not bad really. Deliberate attack against this unit over here, the 21st Chinese Corps. Ideally we can just actually force it to surrender, but no, my luck, it will retreat. Yep, there we go. Where's it going to? Yichang. So it heads across the road here, which is a pain in the arse. And it was in the wrong ops mode, so you think it would have been destroyed there, but unfortunately not. But that's fine. I can head back and we'll attack it again. We are attacking here at Moresby, which is quite good. We did have a bombardment last turn. Now, we were waiting on the supply to actually rebuild. I imagine he's had something of a reprieve. His forces are probably doing better than they were beforehand. 127, 249, so he does hold there. There we go. So you see supply is low at Moresby. So I didn't imagine it would actually fall this day. Looks like we had a pull roll there as it goes. 4 level 0, as we know. 633 casualties, 1 destroyed, 49. So, more disabled, but that's fine. 245, 10 destroyed, 1 destroyed. Not a amazing result there, but they're out of supply. So each time we attack, they're not going to have it in them to defend, and it will compound issues for him. The good news is supply is making it through to the 56th Division. So that's fine. We'll have build that supply up once again, and then we will attack. Oh, how you doing there, Honoris? Good to have you, my man. Kuching holds out a little bit longer here. We reduce fortifications down to level 1. 64 casualties there, 220 inflicted, so yeah. When they recover, we will attack again there. Okay. Yokohama Yokosuka expands airfield. Rabaul expands airfield to size 6, which is nice. Sorry, no, to size 5. A little bit behind there. But not bad. Okay. Nice and tidy little turn there. I hadn't expected Moresby to fall, but the good news is he is confirmed to be out of supply, so that means his forces will fight at, was it now, 1/3 effectiveness, 1/3 of their AV, so they are dramatically weakened. I think had we had potentially a HQ by the 56, we would have had obviously better results overall, but obviously would have recovered much sooner. But supply will move across that road, we'll keep on attacking, we have supply, he simply does not. He will be defeated. It's a case of inevitability, and ideally those units will then be forced to surrender, which would be ideal. I would rather them surrender than have to like deal with them in the bloody jungles forever. Right, there we go. We'll go ahead and take a look at the aircraft forces here today. 2 Sonoys, 2 Blenheims, a Babs reconnaissance of Wooded Way, Dornier 24, Hudson to a Hawk, and a HA-21. That's intriguing. And those are ops losses. That is an intriguing little development there. Wonder what happened. Ship sunk. I don't think we had anything hit today, so not too bad. Nothing lost, nothing gained though. I did actually reduce the delay on scrolls. It's like it's actually incredible to be able to scroll so quickly. Right, okay. Still loading these elements. I'm surprised it's taken so long actually. But we have a little bit left here. Sound detector's a bit of a pain in the arse. Size 1 port, which might be why they're actually taking so long. So what I'm going to do then is just have them actually march to Bangkok. I'm not going to wait on that. Might as well have them move out. Things like sound detectors can be something of a pain in the backside, so... And I don't know if I can actually load at a size 1 port, so I'm going to have them just move into Bangkok today. Well, tomorrow. We'll be done with it. We do have 2nd Air Division here. I think there's another element to 2nd Air Division that wasn't picked up, which is over here at Mersing, which is being picked up and will be moved out to Bangkok. It's been moved by 2 APs here with a Ansoyu PB escort. So we moved in there shortly. We are seeing lots of assets here. 3 units here, 35,000 men. He has a lot of men in these areas. But the good news is, once we actually do manage to establish aerial supremacy in this area, we can go ahead and use that against it. Now, what is the size of Rangoon? It's a size 5 airfield. Interesting. Moonlight is at 10%. I would like that Moonlight to be larger. Well, to be higher. So we have a Tainan KUS over here. We should have the other Zero Squadron over here, Yamada. There we go. We'll be able to get that. But it is interesting to see how much is concentrated in this area. It's all well and good, but the thing is it can be taken out. You have to get creative with it, but you can do it. But he's definitely invested a lot into Rangoon. I mean, YMS is that a yard minesweeper? But that must be some sort of misidentification. But he's put a lot into Rangoon. We do have the means to take it, but in some cases it might simply be a better idea to bypass it to some degree. As far as I can tell, I think he has his carrier forces concentrated somewhere south here, really. I can't be precise in that statement because we don't have the actual accurate information to make a proper assertion, but I believe them to be in the south somewhere. We take Cape Gloucester today, which is good. Plenty of ships over here that do need to head back for repairs to shipyards. Yeah, so I'm going to have to check that out to buy Canton Island and Baker. That's an interesting one there. So, Chikiang expands airfield to size 2. That's intriguing. So I imagine he's doing that to increase the amount of supply that is available at Chikiang or can be stored at Chikiang. But, I don't know why. Well, there we go. Prince of Wales is in service, apparently. She was looking to make it out. I seem to have that problem. Prince of Wales making it out. Rather a big pain. So if we take a look at the, God, I've not used this scrolling so fast. So we take a look at Baker Island here. 3 ships. There's nobody on Baker Island. If he wants to take it, he's more than welcome. Canton's complained about lack of supply. So I think I will shift the Hastings K4s elsewhere. Okay. It is essentially nibbling on the periphery of Empire, which fair enough, he wants to take it back, he's more than welcome to. It could also be something else. It's severe storms in the area, but it is moving west. If he wants to land at Baker Island, he is more than welcome to do so. Right, I do have the 21st Air Flotilla marching to the north. I'm marching them to Comac over here so I can at least potentially have them pulled back. But I would prefer to have Comac actually host the Air Flotilla, as it is somewhat closer to Luganville. As you can see, new mayor. Oh, they might be about the same. Yeah, they're about the same there. In terms of actually moving to it via ship, it is closer. It's also a little bit better protected. What I would like to do is actually have some mines potentially here at Bello, and then at Comac as well, possibly in the future if we wish to do so. Though I'm not too overly keen on that. I believe I do have some submarines sent out towards this area out here. So ideally that could provide us some information. We did have the battle over here. We're still 296 AV. We're at 1,031 supply in the actual hex, so we require 2,117. I feel like that's actually increased somewhat. I wonder if they've had some replacements come through there. That's fine. Over here at Buna, we're at 2,489 supply. We require 882 at this moment in time. We are building on the airfield. So if I take a look at these units here. Right, okay. They can rest. Try and reduce that. We do have elements of 24th Infantry, which just arrived, of course. And we also have elements of the 1st Independent Engineer Regiment, which I'm going to have actually march down the road here towards Moresby to join the rest of that unit. It may take forever, but I'll have them do that. Yep, okay. We have another close to 1,800 supply to unload there, another 560 to unload, another 309 there to unload. So we do have supply moving into the base, which is good. So we have another, what, 3,000? Yeah, over 2,000 to unload into Buna. We do have supply here that can trickle down here. It does trickle down here, but it takes a while. But actually having the supply build up here at Buna is good. And we are building up the base. You can see that we do have many more islands to take here this time around too. So we have landed on different locations. They're loading up supplies and moving to other bases. I'm essentially going to take control of every single dot base in the area. I will have these fellows launch a deliberate attack against the actual offending Australian forces. So we'll launch that attack. Right, okay. So Rabal's moving up close now to a size 6. We'll continue to build it up to size 7. I could do a potentially mines here at Rabal, at least to dissuade enemy submarines. We do have our forces over here against Malta. I am actually unloading the 13th Naval. The good news is I have it captured here today, so I didn't have to bring in the actual assault value, which is nice. But I will have Cape Colossus built up in terms of an airfield, and then I will actually have a air HQ sited here. That would be quite good. Now, as far as I can tell, if I go to enemy units, task forces, there we go, okay. Only that one is visible right now. We do see a couple around here and a couple around here. But nothing suggesting large task force right now. What do we see here? MTBs and subchasers, okay. Apparently there's AOs in there. That'd be interesting. Right. Yeah, the one to the north there. Yeah. AK. That's good to see that we actually have it identified as an AK. Right, it's interesting, man. I did have some success last turn, actually, here. Oh, right, these were here and had... Right, that one had arrived then. That one may have just actually arrived, so I'm going to have to give that some patrol orders. I don't know how effective it is actually patrolling off the coast there. We'll see. Okay. So your base of Roynema. Too many units on this actual base here. The first JNAF AF I would like to have shifted elsewhere actually. That's far too good for Talawa. Okay. Yeah, if he wants to establish a position out here at Baker, then he is more than welcome. I suggested he arrived here from Palmyra, which is interesting. What we will be able to do then, once we actually have this area sufficiently strengthened as we are trying to do at this moment in time, is once the carriers potentially are roused, we may potentially visit Palmyra. Truck has been expanded slowly, very very slowly, and it has consumed an immense amount of supply to do that, something I do regret doing in this campaign actually, something I would not repeat elsewhere. Still, it will come in useful. It will allow for a fair amount there, really. But I would not do it again. Now let's see what is the state of the combined fleets out of this area. So they are in pretty good shape. They do need to be refueled, but they are in pretty good shape as far as it goes on damage. The BBs are in decent enough shape. Nagato... she's fine. Kirishima is fine enough. Hiei. She is somewhat slower, but I would like to actually have that engine damage repaired. But I would prefer to either... I don't know about using the fast BBs. The fast BBs are great, but they do consume fuel, so I think heavy cruisers do work out well as an escort for carriers. Fuel efficiency is something that we do need to hold somewhat supreme there, really. Right, so we do have the auxiliary repair here. I do have the I-8 that has arrived. She could potentially go into the actual floating dry dock. Place it to repair ship. If she's still down, she might actually go into the doublon. Is it a doublon? I think what it's called, actually. What's it called again? Yes, there we go, the doublon. Okay. So we do have the PBs there, so we are able to bring supply down here. I am actually sending supply from Tokyo. I don't like doing that because we are in a bit of a interesting position regarding supplies out that way. We do need to get more moving back to Japan. There's quite a large amount of supply here at Shanghai, and also a lot of fuel there at Shanghai. I mean, we take a look at that, 397,000 units of fuel at Shanghai. At Hong Kong we have 100... No, sorry, that's 10,775. So, I could potentially draw fuel from Shanghai if needed. I could potentially have that fuel move along here towards like something like Fusa. It's there and available, I don't have to draw upon it now, but it is there as something we can use. So I do have these units over here. It's a pain in the ass with this here, because it will inevitably pull out of here. So I'm going to have to try and cover these hex sides, try and force him to surrender. What do we have in terms of roads? Yeah, the issue is it's bloody secondary road around here, so it does take significantly longer. I might make a decision to just attack. He should have no supplies, we should be able to cause some damage. It's wooded rough, so we should have multiple battles there to dislodge him. So the 110th was forced into combat mode, 32nd was as well, and 6th Division was as well. But that's fine. Continue to move. Okay. But that's intriguing that there's actually seed in that position there. He's undervaluing that wooded rough there. He's either undervaluing the wooded rough, or he feels he can't hold. And it might be the former I just said there. The reason being, you do not give up times 3 terrain to head back to times 2 terrain. It's just simply not worthwhile. But it's good to see that we are making progress here. I do have another division actually released for service down on this road. I'm not exactly aiming for much along this road, but it would be nice to take these bases here to establish control of the road here. From Indochina into China. We might be able to make use of it in the future. Okay. Forces are beginning to mass over here to the north, as I said. Which is useful. Plenty of armor, but not much in the way of actual divisions, which is a bit of a problem. But we'll make it work. I need to retain 60 in the way of garrison here. These units will remain behind. We will be able to break him in the north over here, actually. It does depend on how he's actually positioned his forces, but it can be done. Right, okay. So that is 26, 26, and 20. He has 8 of them here in the wooded terrain. In the rough terrain, I should say. Now, I will need an actual headquarters here to actually help us out significantly. I do have Mongol garrison army here, which is useful enough. I suppose it's not too bad, because we will be able to cross with quite a good number of tanks over there, which would be useful. But in fairness, this road would certainly do. We need not have to worry about crossing rivers, though the shock attack would help us. It would be nice to actually have units march down here. We see one unit here. There likely are units along this road, and we would need to find them. It might be worthwhile to have a unit sent along this road just to try and act as not just surveillance, if you can even call surveillance. So I do have the NCPC Infantry Brigade here, and I will have that move along the road if they can. So I'm going to tell them to move down to that hex. What they're going to do is essentially march down the road. It's going to take them a good few weeks to reach the end there. But what we'll do then is we'll use it to figure out where the enemy is if they are indeed on this road. He may very well be. I would be surprised if he wasn't. Okay. 9 units here. So we're still looking at 42 here, 28 here. He has a significant amount of the Chinese army concentrated here. Significant amount. I am considering actually pulling back another division and another division from here. The reason being, will he actually counterattack? He very well could counterattack, and that's a bit of a problem there. He could do it. But if he does do that, he's going to cross into times 3 terrain. Against a single division, he will win. That's the problem. We don't have the advantage of actual fixed fortifications. We do have the fortifications of the units, which is good. So it may be that we have to maintain at least 2 divisions here, which would give us 938, which is shy of 1,000. So I suppose it would be nice to take another division away, but I think it's necessary. But in fairness, I mean, for the cost of 4 divisions, it's fixing how much of the Chinese army in place. In a position where, albeit they have increased it to size 2 airfields, they are still and must be wasting a tremendous amount of supply, but a tremendous amount of men in one position. Marching towards this road so I can try to approach Nanning. That would be ideal. It will give him something to worry about from this flank over here. Yes. Once I can bring these forces out from the coast and into the actual interior of China, it will actually allow us to actually make use of a few more divisions, really. I do have 39th Division, which is recovering here, but I'm going to have that broken up so it can recover sooner rather than later. And I'll do that as a standard policy across all units in the future, so they actually recover sooner. Okay. Now, I don't have information on Chungking. That may be due to the extreme overcast here today. 7 fighters, 12 bombers there. Okay. See, a way we could potentially put pressure on him in Burma is to actually have air power employed in China to a degree. But I'm not too miffed about that. I don't think we need to be entirely... Well, this is it. As far as it goes, they are a dangerous threat out here. It does have a lot of fighters committed to this, but that's fine. We may simply just wait for the moonlight to increase and then go for night bombing. I do have the MKB actually in port over here at BLeAcHACiD. It may simply be that I actually have that aircraft move from BLeAcHACiD and from aboard the carriers to Thailand. And we go for it like that and just simply have the air power massed and take it on that way. I was considering landing on Java, but I think I'm going to wait until we have Singapore. So speaking of Singapore, we'll take a look at the actual troops here. And, okay, so we're looking at 16, 18... 5th Division is being quite stubborn there with that amount of fatigue. That's pretty crazy in all honesty. I mean, we could potentially still attack with that. The majority of the units are alright. I mean, 42. Disruption, yeah, I mean, this is it. They're in an awkward position there. I don't know why they have so much disruption. But we still have 38th, 48th, 21st, 18th, and Imperial Guard Division there that are in relatively good shape. Well, they are in good shape as far as it goes. It may be a case of waiting another day to actually give them that chance to recover that. They're above 25, so it should drop off pretty quick. It may be worthwhile dropping off the disruption with another day's rest. What are we looking at in terms of actual damage on the airfield? Yeah, never that much, which is not exactly great. What is the weather over Singapore here today? Partial cloud. Did we actually bomb Singapore today? I don't think we did. We bombarded it, but I don't think we bombed it. I wonder if that was due to the weather there. Yeah, we don't have any bomb attacks against Singapore today. This is a bloody problem. It's difficult because we have the bloody weather screwing with us. We may simply have to attack today to make sure we can keep it, well, keep it held down in terms of fortifications. So I will go ahead and order a deliberate attack. 5th Division's going to have a bit of a problem there, but they'll have to manage. We do have other divisions to pick up the slack. In theory it's 2452, but I don't know if they'll actually fight like that, as most of the troops, well, a good chunk of it does have some, well, a decent chunk of that has a lot of fatigue and disruption. I have to hope for the best. But we'll order that. I think we were at level 3, we took him down to 2. He's probably level 2 fortifications now. He has about 500 or so AV. We'll see. He's getting to that point now where he will begin to crack. Each battle will be more and more telling. So I don't think we'll take it tomorrow. There is a small chance that we could take it tomorrow, but I don't imagine we will. I imagine it'll probably be another attack after this one due to the state of troops there. Had they recovered sooner, maybe. But that's okay. So I had to move these units here to satisfy the garrison. It does also help us out with the key 2A sallies over here, actually. Well, the thing is, they still have AV. I might as well attack alongside the other divisions to try and build up that AV. They will then rest alongside the other divisions, so it kind of sucks that they have that level of fatigue and disruption. But it's not a large enough element of the actual body here to make us have to think twice. And without the bombing of the airfield here today, I feel like I am somewhat forced to attack. He only has 4 airfield damage, so we'll have to attack this turn. I do therefore. Not a tremendous amount really, just things continue to shift around as they have in the last few turns. We do see a allied force out this way, supposedly only 3 ships, so we'll obviously monitor that situation for the time being. I will have to have these H6K4s transferred out. Yeah, it looks like due to the fact they ran out of supply. That's not good. That's not good. Okay, need to get some supply into Canton Island. So we'll organise a force now. May have to pull them out, which is going to be easier said than done. Fuck's sake. This is a problem when it's weeks between turns. At least when it feels like that. But no, overall, there's not that much really that's happened right now. So a lot of this can be done in Summoning. I'd like to say there's a lot more exciting stuff going on, but at the moment it's just steady, which is fine, I guess. Ambon needs to be resolved. A lot of things that need to be bloody resolved here. Need to go ahead and build our Lobland. Need more AV here. Yeah, some mistakes. I feel like they compound more every day. Ah well, what can be done? Okay. I think this is where we'll leave it off. I know it doesn't feel like we've had a very long stream, but there's simply not that much for me to really talk about at this moment in time. Need to do the logistics, need to do the little micromanaging stuff. I do need to find some bloody way against BLeAcHACiD Canton Island in the near future. We'll obviously sort a little expedition out that way. I would have liked to have known what classes of ships those by Baker were, but that's fine, we'll deal with them. Making progress in China at least. I've lost sight of the units over here, but I don't imagine he's... Well, when he starts marching, then we'll see them there. yeah, we'll call it there, so thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry if it sounded a little bit more subdued. It's not that I'm bored or anything like that. It's just, I just feel a bit, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where you have like a head cold, and you sort of like feel down in the midpoint of the day, and then you sort of perk back up towards the evening. It's just one of those there, really. I'm just looking forward to having that good old bloody rest. It's been so warm in the UK. It's been crazy. Crazy times. Thank you for watching, my ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed this. If you have, please do go ahead and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Follow me here on Twitch as well. Be much appreciated. How you doing there, OCP? I know, a little bit late there, but don't worry about it, man. Ideally, we do get the Dadman turn later tonight as well, so I have another turn to go through. But I shall see you guys in the future, so goodbye for now. I guess I'm in the side. Jane and sayonara. Goodbye for now.